Come on! Get in there, my son! Rasmus Hojlund, baby! Done and dusted! Let's be having you! Oh, yes! We've got our man, baby! And his name is Rasmus. What's going on, everybody? Thank you very much for joining us for tonight's show. Apparently, we've got no sound, but I think we do. I don't know. Do we? Hopefully, we do. I think it's just you, Ryan, being an absolute prat. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for getting in here. Come on, get in there, you legends. Let's be having you, my friends. We've gone and got the guy. Rasmus Hojlund, guys. Let's be having you, guys. Oh, yes. Thank you very much for joining us for tonight's show. We've got lots to get into. We'll cover all the details of the deal here, and we'll cover all of the latest goings on and all the breaking news in regards to United, Rasmus Hojlund, and all the rest of it this evening. So thank you very much for every single one of you legends for getting in here for tonight's show. Do us a favour at the start of this show, smash that like button on the video. Yes, give us a massive thumbs up for Rasmus, baby. Hit the likes if you haven't done so already. Also, share us around on social media. I've pinned the tweet to the top of the live chat. You can give us a retweet and share us around. That would be awesome. Spread the word of the show. That would be amazing. And as always, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We're on our way to 73,000 subscribers. Hit the subscribe and get yourself involved. And if you're on catch up later, get down below and let us know your thoughts and opinions on this whole Rasmus Hojlund signing. So we have had the Here We Go from Fab and David Ornstein and various other sources. We'll show you everything that's going on and all the sources we have this evening. But before I do, let me just welcome in everybody into the stream. Hello, everybody. What's going on there? Don, Dean, Ryan, Nas, hello to you. Chris, Xander, John Vallandingham. Thank you for the feedback on the sound there. Jamie Robinson, J-Dub, Rajak, Gary, what's going on? Animations, Chris Koo, Master, Rushmano, Hamza Patel, V Cobra, Unk Squid, D Purple Boy, Don, Johnny, and everybody else as well. I hope you're buzzing your tits off just as much as me, guys. Bzz, bzz. I'm sat here on vibrate because we have finally got an actual forward striker player, guys, who could go on to do pretty amazing things for Manchester United. Obviously, it remains to be seen. It's going to take some time for the guy. He is only 20 years of age. It's going to take some time for him to, I guess, adapt to the Premier League and develop into the world-class talent that we're hoping he will be. But he's showing all the signs of being that at this moment as a 20-year-old youngster. So it is a fantastic piece of business and a fantastic piece of news by Manchester United. Obviously, the money's quite a lot, but we'll cover all of that throughout this opening few minutes. It is quite a lot, but I just want to say that the money's not really the most important thing for us. It's just about giving Ten Hag who he wants, getting our guy, getting that all-important forward player, and hopefully we've got another one coming at some point, but, getting him over the line so that now we can turn our attentions to other players as well, because we shouldn't be done yet in this transfer window. We should still be doing all sorts of bits and bobs, trying to sign more players. So hopefully this is just another domino that's fallen in succession, and soon enough, we'll be able to bring another one or two beats into this football club in this transfer window. But before we get into it then, as I say, smash that like button. We've got 150 legends in here. Let's get 150 likes on this stream and give us a share around, folks, and subscribe. Let's get stuck in then to the news, peeps. Come on. So Fabrizio Romano has said this, guys, about an hour ago. Rasmus Hojlund to Manchester United. Here we go. Oh, yes, agreement reached. Right now, with Atalanta, package will be around 70 million euros with add-ons. Clubs are preparing documents in the next 24 hours. Hojlund agreed a 5-year deal 10 days ago, as he only wanted Manchester United, and that's with an option for an extra year as well. So it's not just a 5-year deal, there is a 5-year deal with an option for an extra year sat there as well, which is obviously excellent. So we've got this guy potentially until he's 26. Zane Miassi, thank you very much for your super chat here, Zane. Oh, goodness me. He says, Timber, Saliba will be ready for Rasmus. He looks very good, but Jesus will get more goals than him this season, I predict. Oh, really, Zane Miassi? Fair enough. I mean, that's an interesting one you've come in here with. I mean, you've come in here with a very Arsenal-esque comment here, Zane. Personally, I don't give a toss. You know, I keep telling you, mate, we're just on here to celebrate Rasmus Hojlund becoming a Red. Don't really care about Arsenal right now. But you say, okay, yeah, Timber, Saliba will be ready for him. They will be ready for him, I guess. They'll be waiting. They'll be drooling in a puddle of their own mucus, lad. By the end, Rasmus Hojlund has had his way with him, my son. That's right. The pace on the man. So we'll see about that. Timber and Saliba, You better get your boys ready up for this game, mate, because we're going to have this super trooper up there ready to take you to the cleaners, lad. So watch out, Zamiasi, but thank you very much for your super chat, mate. I believe you're going to get drubbed up, mate. Oh, yeah. Do you remember the other day? Zamiasi, when we played your pre-season, we've done you 2-0 without even a recognised striker in the team? Remember that, Zane, or have you forgotten about that? Imagine what it's like when we've actually added a few more top players to our ranks. Imagine when we've actually got a goal scorer in fine fettle and fine form, smashing you melters up, lad. Oh, yeah. It's going to be pure penetration against Arsenal's back line, mate. So I'm not worried about that. But thank you for your super chat there anyway. He's going to batter them, isn't he? Smash a 1 in the chat, peeps. If you believe that Hojlund will run rings around those absolute melts. What you're saying, I think he will. I don't think we've got too much to worry about, mate. Arsenal guff. Okay, so Fabrizio has said this. I mean, obviously, there's a few different variant outlets reporting slightly different things, and we'll cover them all in this show. So the amount of money involved. Fabrizio says that the package will be around 70 million euros with add-ons. Clubs are preparing documents for the next 24 hours. As we've already said, if that is the case, if it's 70 million or 75 million or even more, which some places are reporting, then it is too much money, really. But a heck of a lot of, potential for this guy, obviously, and we sort of have to pay for him. Thank you there, Adam Crump. He says, loving the weight loss, bro. Major respect. Thank you, Adam Crump, lad. Get in there, my son. Let's go, mate. Come on, I basically lost a thread over the last year, lad. Thank you very much, Mr. Crump. Okay then, so let's talk about the rest of the outlets reporting how much money is involved here. But before I do, we've got a super chat, or should I say a gifted membership from Crazy Joe Davola, a full-on Man City scumbag. But fair play to you, Crazy Joe. Thank you for gifting out a membership, lad. It's gone to Mike Jones. Come on. Let's go. Mike Jones has been gifted the membership by Crazy Joe. I appreciate that one, Crazy Joe. Let's get some love in there for Crazy Joe. Thank you very much indeed, you Man City-inspired scummer. Oh, yes. Zane says, why didn't United spend money Onana Rasmus on Kane? Well, I suppose, Zamiasi, that's a good question, but in my opinion, it's because we're trying to strengthen various different areas of the team, and also because that's what Ten Hag wanted to do, mate, yeah? So I personally think Kane would have been an amazing signing for Manchester United. But what you have to remember here, and this applies to Rasmus Hojlund, it applies to Mason Mount, who I'm not crazy about, and it applies to Andre Onana, who you could say, a lot of people, including myself, would have said, oh, well, David De Gea's fine. You don't really need to go out and replace David De Gea necessarily and let him go for free. He's fine. He's a great goalkeeper. But this applies to all of these players. They're Ten Hag-style players that he wants to get into the team for his system. That is paramount here. That's the key to success this season for Manchester United. We've not just gone and got players because they're big names and they're there and we can get them. He's gone and got players who he wants specifically to fit into a certain system, which I think is the right thing to do for Ten Hag, obviously. The same can be said for most, if not all, of the players that he signed last season for Manchester United as well. He's trying to build something at United here, and he's doing it his way. So that's why, because he wanted Rasmus Hojlund. It's not about what I think or what you think. I think Kane is a 30-goal-a-season proven Premier League boss, isn't he? But Ten Hag has obviously seen something in Rasmus Hojlund. He's got that ability with his speed and his physicality to press from the front. And he's only young. Obviously, he will go on and do some good things for Ten Hag, I think, because of the type of player that he is. So that's the key, really. He's gone and got a player that he wants for his system. They're systematic players for Erik Ten Hag. They're not just players who we are getting in because they're big names. They're actually players that Ten Hag wants. So that's the key, really. Thank you for your super chat there, bud. Dark Knight, thank you for being a member 14 months. He says, we've overpaid again. Yes, he's a talent, but remember, Martial, he was a talent, now he's gash. Prem may be too much from at 20. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hey, I hope you're wrong as well, Dark Knight. It's a fair point. You do bring up a really good point. Nobody in this life is guaranteed to come into the Premier League and be a success, particularly not overnight. We may well have to wait for a time period for him to adapt to the Premier League and get used to it and improve, because he is only 20. And like you say, Tony Martial or many players have come into United or the Premier League and failed to really have the impact that you're hoping for. So I guess, technically he could be another one of those, but the chances are, if you look at the sort of player that he is and the physicality of the guy, the chances are he's not going to be an injury-prone, sidelined melter like Tony Martial. I mean, he could be, I suppose, but the reality is he's a very physical young player. Who knows? I mean, he's 20, so, still young, still green and fresh to the game, obviously, in terms of the top level. He's only just on the back of a 9-goal season over for Atalanta, so you do have to factor in these things. But yeah, I mean, I think he's going to be a success at United. I know you're not saying he's going to flop. You're saying it might be too much for him at 20. I think that's a fair comment. I do think it's a genuinely fair comment. Let's ask the chat again. We did this earlier on, but let's just ask the chat. How many Premier League goals does Rasmus Hojlund get for Manchester United in his first season? Let's see where you guys are at. We, in my opinion, have to be reasonably realistic with that. And we have to say around about 15. That's 6 more than he got in Serie A last season. The Premier League is a tougher league, but we've got, obviously, Manchester United backing him up, and he will be the main focal point of Manchester United's attack. So I think 15 is achievable. But that is his first season, remember. He's not exactly going to, he's not really going to... He's not expected to get a heck of a lot more than that in his first season. It's early doors for him, you know. You've got to give him time to develop and adapt and get up to the speed of the Premier League and find that understanding with his teammates and Ten Hag and everything that we're doing. Give him a year or two and he'll probably be an absolute baller. So that's what I'm thinking. I think he will be a success. But I'm not expecting any more than 15 league goals from this season. Ulf says, bro, I watched videos on the guy last night, and if he brings that to you guys, he'll be worth every penny. Precisely. I'm with you there, Ulf793. Systematically, he's the sort of player that we need, isn't he, for Erik Ten Hag? So I think that's very, very good point. Josh Lee, thanks so much for the 24-month membership, bro. He's been a member for 2 years. Let's everybody get some love in the chat for a 2-year anniversary there for Josh Lee. Thank you, Josh. Really, really appreciate it. It says, this deal scares me a bit as the Glazers may stay pig. I guess so. It's also, a concern of mine that because they're spending and it's the way they are, that brings their spending up to what, like 170 odd million pounds now. Because they're spending the way they are, it does increase the likelihood that maybe they stay on for a bit longer, try and milk Manchester United a bit more. It's a fair point, Josh Lee. You know, you can't get away from that. Hopefully it's not the case. We can only have our fingers crossed. It's a heck of a lot of cash that they have spent. But maybe it's just a case of, like I say, they've had some sort of a gentleman's agreement with the likes of Sheikh Jassim or whoever would come in to not hinder us for this season, that perhaps they would add a little bit on to the overall sale price if they do sell the football club so that we can continue with the, acquisitions of players. So that's a possibility as well. But, it doesn't look like they're going anywhere anytime soon, does it, these Glazer toe rags? Hashtag Glazers out. This changes nothing in regards to the Glazers ownership of this club. They're still the same parasites. They're still the same melter owners that are leaving us behind, other clubs in various different departments. It's not about how much we're spending on players on the face of it, as I've said many, many times. Mark N, absolutely, yes, he is the type of guy that's getting assists as well. That's it. So his link-up play, his build-up play, it's not just about his goal scoring, it's about his build-up play as well. So he will bring that to the table also, and I think that's another factor why Ten Hag's really wanted him. It's because of his build-up play and because of his pressing and because of his physicality, and of course his age and everything. It does bode very, very well. The Zamiasi says Haaland costs less than Ramos. You know what? You've misspelled 2 players' names there, Zamiasi. Put the crack pipe down. That's not how you spell Haaland. You've said Haaland. And also you said Ramos. I can understand why you're calling him Ramos, though. Because you're an Arsenal fan. He probably will ram you. Probably will ram you when we play you, mate. Probably will ram you hard. Zamiasi, thank you very much. Listen, it's not about how much people cost, mate. Do you realise that? Sometimes you've got to pay a certain amount to get a player who you need for a certain price, market value, whatever the case may be. We paid 80 million for Harry Maguire. We paid 85 million for Paul Pogba. Let's not bring cash into this. Like I said at the start of this show, I mean, we're going to get into the prices and stuff in a moment, but it doesn't really matter about the money. We've got our man. We paid 80 odd million for Anthony as well. Sometimes there's a premium you have to pay for whatever reason. Maybe it's like Ten Hag and Anthony. It's the go into your previous club premium. Or maybe it's your Man United premium. Or maybe it's the fact that it's your 20-year-old. This guy's going to be the much nuts in a few years' time premium. You do have to pay different amounts for different players based on the situation. So I wouldn't read too much into that, Zamiasi. Yes, we've overspent and it is a lot of money. But calm your boots down, bud. Plus, remember, obviously he had his agent, that Riola melter, rest in peace. And, of course, he was always trying to get his grubby little fingers in as many grubby little pies as possible, trying to squeeze as much money out of deals as he could himself, which meant that the overall transfer fee to actually bring in Haaland originally was actually a lot more than it seemed, because you had to pay his agent off as well, which was an extortionate price. So, not so sure if you even know what you're talking about there, really, Zamiasi lad. You know what I'm saying? Thank you very much for your super chat. By the way, 325 legends in here. Let's get 325 likes on this stream, guys. For Hojlund Day. It's Hojlund Day, my friends. Come on. Finally, the Danish beast is here. And he will be leading the front line for United this coming season. It's a great day. We've finally added another player to our ranks, and it's finally a striker that we so desperately need. Let's cover the latest goings on then at the Football Club with the amount of money involved. Obviously, varying different reports from various different outlets, and I will get into them now. So, look, this is basically what David Ornstein has been saying. So David Ornstein, obviously a very good, reputable tier 1 source, has given us more information on this amount of money that's being paid for Hojlund, and he says it's approximately £85 million. So Fab obviously said 70 million, and then there's add-ons. Seems like we've been bent over for 85 million euros. Sorry, did I say pounds? I meant euros. We've been bent over for 85 million euros. Manchester United will pay Atalanta a fixed fee of 75 million euros plus 10 million euros in add-ons for Rasmus Hojlund. So if you believe David Ornstein, which we've got no reason not to, that is an absolute bending over of Manchester United for the amount of money that we've been taken for there. It is obscene. I wasn't expecting us to pay that amount of money for him, I'll be fair. I mean, I know that Atalanta had a price in their heads and they wanted to get that amount of money for him. There was reports early doors that they wanted 80 or 90 or even 100 million euros for this guy. And United initially opened up the transfer negotiations for closer to 35 million. And it's finally got to the point where they've agreed now, but they've agreed for what seems to be 85 million euros all told, which isn't a bit of an obscene amount of money in all fairness. So, you know, we've been tucked up a little bit there, I suppose. You can't get away from that. That is more than he's worth. I mean, only time will tell on that one. Perhaps in a year or two's time, we're saying that this is actually a cheap deal. That can sometimes happen, can't it? But at this moment in time, it seems very expensive. So let's just ask the live chat. I'll make that a little bit smaller so we can see. Oh, no, doesn't matter. I'll get it up on the screen. How much do you think we should have paid for this guy? Let us know. Adam Crump, thank you for your super chat, by the way. Here, Adam Crump comments and says, we need to sell Harry Houdini Maguire, a.k.a. the 6-foot splinter rat, for 20 million to West Ham. Now, I completely agree with you, my friend. I completely agree with you, dude. Thank you for that, by the way, Adam. And Chris Coos is saying, do you ever stop sniffing that? 50 mil, says Spike Blighty for Hojlund. 65, says Jamie. I'm with you. I think it should have been like 55 million up front and 10 million down the line, which equals around about 65 million euros. As it is, it seems that we've been done for perhaps a little bit more cash than that. But as I said, it doesn't necessarily matter about the amount of money that's involved here. It could be less than that anyway. There's lots of different reports coming out from various different places that suggest it is a different figure to the 85 million euros. That may not be 100% accurate at this moment in time. Let's cover the rest of this stuff that we've got. So, that's from Ornstein, but we also have a report here from Gianluca Di Marzio. Gianluca Di Marzio says that the agreement has been reached there for, United and Atalanta. And just a little bit more information on the breakdown of the price. Money breakdown here in terms of the amount of money involved. Di Marzio says that United will pay 65 million euros up front. Actually, that's pounds. My bad. 65 million pounds plus a further 8.5 in add-ons for Rasmus Hojlund, which, if you do the math there, that's 73.5 million pounds, which is getting on for, 80 odd million euros. So I don't think it's too far off of what David Ornstein said there, but we don't have 100% confirmation of the figure, basically, is what I'm saying. Some people are saying 70. Fabrizio said 70, and he hasn't alluded to the spot-on amount. He says 70 million euros with add-ons. David Ornstein said 85 million euros, and other outlets like Di Marzio reporting 73.5 million pounds, which is about 80 million euros, somewhere in that region. So it's somewhere around about that, guys. Probably between 75 to 85 million euros is what we've paid for him. So it is too much money in all fairness. But there you go. There you go. That's sometimes what you have to do to get your guy. I'm not bothered about the cash. I'm not bothered about the money. It's not my money. It's not your money. If anything, it's the Glazer shithouse's money, but it's not really. It's obviously Manchester United's money from our coffers that we've earned. You know, and here is a report from Dharmesh Sheth from Sky Sports, who says that the deal to take Hojlund to Manchester United is worth £72 million. It breaks down as £64 million initial payment plus £8 million in add-ons. So everyone reporting slightly different figures at this moment. So you do have to take the overall final price with a little bit of a pinch of salt, because we've seen 3 or 4 different, respected journalists here reporting different prices. But he says £64 million is the initial payment plus £8 million in add-ons. Atalanta went into talks wanting £77 million guaranteed. The bulk of the incoming business done. Further arrivals depend on departures, is what he says, and it remains in Sofyan Amrabat's case. So, obviously we will talk about a little bit later about people who we can now bring in after the Hojlund deal is now wrapped up, which is great. But I would like to just say that, about 75 million euros or 80 million euros is about the amount of money that we've ended up paying for this guy. Zayn Miassi with a super chat. Thank you, Zayn, for getting in here with your thoughts and opinions throughout. Zayn Miassi, you just can't help yourself, can you? You just can't help yourself. Yes, Rushmano, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. If you guys are new to the show tonight, subscribe. We cover all the latest United news in a no bullshit, no clickbait, no pump out guff for the sake of it way. So if you want to, make sure you hit the subscribe button and get yourself involved. And also, smash that like button, as it does help the channel. It helps boost us up there on the algorithm and helps us compete with aforementioned clickbaiters and corporations. So drop that like on the video if you're just getting in. Zayn Miassi, thanks for your super chat here, lad. Goodness me, can we just get a shithouse emoji in the live chat for Zayn? Zayn Miassi says Declan Rice, future Ballon d'Or, hence the price. You what? Declan Rice? I think you mean future Melter, future Forlon de Floor winner, not future Ballon d'Or winner. Come on, Zayn Miassi, you got to be taking a piss, mate. Goodness me. Young Kobbie Mainoo tucked him up the other day in pre-season, lad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, goodness me. Declan Rice, good player. Really rate him. Guess what? Not worth that money. Don't care what anybody says. He is a very good player. I would have had him at United. Yes, I would have done. But I would have had him at United for 70 mil. I wouldn't have paid 105 million like you absolute mugs have done. Yeah, it's a good point, actually. You bring up your own point there. You come in here with the sheer audacity, lad, to talk about the amount of money we've just spent on Rasmus Hojlund. And you spent 105 million quid on some carbohydrates. On some complex carbohydrates, mate. You know what I'm saying? How dare you? How dare you have the audacity to come in here and talk about our transfer dealings, lad, when you're spending 105 million on a West Ham melter? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, listen, each to their own, but I personally don't think he's worth all that amount of money that you paid for him, lad. Good luck with that, eh? Good luck with that, bud. You'd have been better off with a truckload of micro rice. You know what I'm saying? You've had a nightmare. But you will have to see how he gets on. To be fair, he's good, right? He is good. I like him. I think he's a good player. But he's not worth that amount of money. No chance. No chance. How much do you reckon Rice is worth, guys, in the chat? 70 million tops, and that's with a 20 million English premium on top of him, if you ask me. Let's be honest, the money that Arsenal paid for him is crazy. Don F, thank you for the super chat. I missed that one, bro. Get in there, you beauty. He says United is the biggest club because other fans set their notifications for Man United news. We're effing massive and we've won it all. Get in there, you're so right, aren't you? They can't stand to see us progress. Wait and see until we've got, new owners as well. The sky will be the limit for Manchester United if we get the right owners. Crikey, we're already up there competing with the Joneses and stuff as it is in the transfer window and in the last season, and, winning trophies still. These clubs, they can't stand us, can they? They have to pile up all here at the same time when we sign a player and try and criticise them. I've seen some big criticism coming in for this signing on social media, and I'll address that in a moment. But before we do, here is Zayn Miassi. Says your budget the last 10 years is more than Avatar films put together, Piggy, and Avatar make more, says Zayn Miassi. What is your obsession with these movies, Zayn Miassi? Why don't you go and nosh off James Cameron, mate? How's that? You know what I'm saying? Rather than putting absolute guff in it. Why are you comparing apples to cars? You know what I'm saying? What's the matter with you? We're talking about a football club, Zayn Miassi, not a film production company, mate, or movies is different kettle of fish, lad. I would like to know what made more, bud. I'd like to know what made more. Yeah, Manchester United's 2008 season review DVD or Arsenal's 2004 Invincibles guff. You know what I'm saying? Who's the bigger club, mate? Bet you we outsold you, you mug. You know what I'm saying? Get out, bud. Get out. Anyway, thank you for that super chat, bud. But listen, there's a lot of these mugs coming in here, aren't they? You haven't won the league for 20 years, bud. There's a lot of mugs coming in here talking about, oh, we've overpaid for this guy and he's not going to amount to much and he scored 9 goals last season. I'd just like to bring something up on the screen for a second, actually, guys. This is something I saw on social media. It made me chuckle a little bit. It made me go, you know, because let's have a look at this. This is a good tweet I saw online before I went live from Morgan United Scope. It says, Rasmus Hojlund has equalled 100 million Mudrik's goal tally in the Premier League. He joined at 7:15 p.m. today. Great tweet. Great tweet. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously Mudrik there, Chelsea's got us brought home for 100 million. I know he's a winger. But even so, he hasn't scored a pissing single goal. And already, Rasmus Hojlund has got the same amount of goals as him. And it's obviously, you know, he's going to obviously have a good time of it at United and hopefully progress and be the player we want. People are writing this guy off too soon. And he's only just come in. He hasn't even played a game yet. So let's see how he does first. People are writing him off. Mudrik hasn't scored a pissing goal, guys. He cost 100 mil. How's about you go and slag that melter off? You know what I mean? So, great tweet. Great tweet. Do you know what I mean? Rasmus Hojlund has equalled 100 million Mudrik's goal tally in the Premier League. He joined at 7:15 p.m. today. There it is. Those are the facts. Can't get away from it. So, don't be worried about Rasmus Hojlund scoring goals, particularly if you're an opposition scumbag like Zayn or one of these Liverpool, Man City guys or whatever. You know, people are going to go, oh yeah, but Haaland, you know, he's got the same name but better, and he scored 36 goals last season. He's going to continue to score 36 goals this season, and your guy's going to struggle to get 50. Yeah, they're at different times in their career, though. They are seriously at different times in their career. Haaland wasn't here in the Premier League when he was that age, you know. He's a couple of years older. He's had a couple of years extra development. Yes, he is a very good talent, but he's also a complete Man City Ghostbusters 2 painting-looking prat. And I'm not worried about it. Yeah, I don't expect this Rasmus Hojlund guy to come in here and score as many goals as Haaland has done in the first season, but give him a couple of seasons and he might just be getting on for that. Who knows? Sky's the limit for this guy, you know? And obviously people will compare them physically. They're kind of similar in that sense. You know, Haaland 6'4", Hojlund 6'3". So people will make these comparisons, but you're making silly comparisons. And also they've got the same sort of name, Hojlund versus Haaland. People are calling him a B-Tech Poundland Wish version of Haaland. Different players entirely. Guess what? Hojlund, our guy, he can actually assist and create as well as he can score goals. So yeah, Haaland is an out-and-out goal scorer. Let's face it, his movement's fantastic and on the last man and everything in the box. He's going to get you a lot of goals, but Hojlund can do a bit of everything. So that's the difference there. Haaland's more of a one-dimensional Ghostbusters 2 painting Vigo the Carpathian type looking melt. And our guy has got the potential to be an all-encompassing forward player. So they're different. So I am, you know, looking forward to seeing this guy progress and develop at United over the next couple of seasons. I'm not going to be asking too much for him too soon. Listen, even if he comes in and does struggle initially at United, I will understand it because it's the Premier League. It's a different footballing culture. It takes time to adapt if you go into any new team, anywhere. And it's going to be coming into a new system with new players around him, new teammates, and a new level of opposition. Let's be honest, the Premier League is the most competitive football league in the world. Still, to this day, and has been for a while. It's the most competitive football league in the world. So it's always going to be difficult for new players coming into the league. So we just got to hope that he is a complete success at the football club and goes on and impresses everybody and, you know, lives up to his price tag. But I'm not even looking at the price tag as that important right now. I think we do that too much. Sometimes you can't help but look at the price tag. Like for instance, Anthony. He cost 80 odd million pounds or 80 odd million euros. So we're looking at him throughout last season going, is he really this amount of level of player? Same goes for when you sign someone like Harry Maguire for 80 million. You're always going to be measured up against that amount of money you come in for. But you shouldn't really do that because like I just said, Chelsea bought Mudrik for 100 mil and he hasn't scored a pissing league goal. So, you know, don't worry too much about it, guys. He will go on and do some good things. We've got to give him time. It's not going to happen overnight. Got to give this guy plenty of time. And I think with a bit of time and with a bit of understanding from the fan base that he's only 20, He'll be absolutely fantastic. By the way, we're creeping up to 72.6k subscribers, as you can see there. If you're new to the channel right now, I can see we've got nearly 400 legends in here tonight. Thank you, everyone, for getting in. Make sure you subscribe. We're on here daily with the United news. We'll be on tomorrow covering all the latest transfer news as well, so get yourself involved, peeps. Get yourself involved. And obviously what this means now, let me just discuss this for a moment. So what this means now is obviously Manchester United are not done with our transfer dealings yet this summer. Fabrizio Romano, before I went live, also tweeted out this. So we've been talking about Sofian Amrabat for a little while, and Fabrizio said that Manchester United's plan always has been a clear priority, get Rasmus Hojlund in, and then negotiations to start for Amrabat. No official/verbal bid to Fiorentina yet, as we've reported last couple of days, but it always had to happen after Hojlund. Amrabat, keen on a move, and well informed on United's plans. So we know that Amrabat wants to join Manchester United and is very much looking forward to us coming in for an offer for him to Fiorentina, and would come and play for us. So now we can turn our attentions to Amrabat. And other outlets have said, you know, okay, we've got to sell a few players before we can go and get Amrabat. We have spent about £170 million now. Heck of a lot of money. We have to sell a couple of players. Well, we've got players to sell. Fred is wanted by a few different teams. McTominay's wanted by West Ham. So Slabby Maguire, miraculously. There's also other players we can sell. Donny van der Beek to Real Sociedad looks like a possibility. We can get Henderson off of the books. So we're certainly able to generate a little bit of cash to go and get Amrabat, who's not really going to cost the earth. So I think, yes, fantastic news is for us to go now and move on and try and sign Amrabat, and that really would add another quality player to our ranks. Super chat here from the K Cadet. Come on, mate, the Rasmus. We've got the Rasmus in, mate. Come on. He says it feels like it's December 25th. It's Rasmus time. Dude, thank you so much there, the K Cadet. He says, feels like it's December 25th. Nice one, bud. Yes, I know. All of our Christmases are coming at once here in this summer transfer window. We've got a new transformative goalkeeper. Mason Mount is like that for me, but still, if that's who Ten Hag wants, I'm happy to have him here. And same goes for Rasmus Hojlund. It's not Harry Kane. It's not Victor Osimhen. But it's somebody that Ten Hag wants. I think that should actually be the highlighted point I'd like to make during this show, is that we've just spent, allegedly, reportedly, close to 85 million euros on this guy who's 20. Why would we do that if he's not something that Ten Hag really, really wants? Why would we do that if Ten Hag hasn't earmarked this guy for very special things in the future? Because we could have just gone and added a little bit more cash. You know, £20 million extra could get you Osimhen. £20 million more could get you Kane, right? And I've always championed the signing of Harry Kane to Manchester United, but I'm not Erik ten Hag. I don't know, I don't have the same level of what he wants to play in my mind, Obviously, he knows how he wants to play, and he's got this guy to come in to play that way, to play a certain way, to be able to play the pressing football that he wants. So he's obviously specially highlighted Rasmus Hojlund to be his guy. And that's the key here, really. That's the key point I'd like to make. He's Ten Hag's guy. Ten Hag wants to play a certain way. He's earmarked this guy. He's highlighted him throughout this summer as his main target up the top of the pitch there. We may go and sign another striker, but he's the one that he wanted. And that's the most important thing. He knows how he wants to play. Only he knows how he wants to play. And so, therefore, And also, this is the only guy we've been working on at striker all summer long. I've heard a couple of rumours about, Colin Muani and these guys. I think they're just there to maybe put in the pressure on Atalanta to do this deal anyway. But certainly there's been no conversations with Tottenham about Harry Kane. There's been no conversations about Victor Osimhen. It's all been solely focused on, for weeks and weeks now, on Rasmus Hojlund, which goes to show you what sort of a guy Ten Hag thinks that he is for this team. So, that's it, guys. That's the point I'd like to make. It's you cannot write this guy off before he's even started. Ten Hag will do great things with this guy in his squad, I'm pretty sure. Mike Hill, thank you for your super chat here, lad. Come on, get in there. Says, Piggy, I'd love to see you as a guest on the Football Terrace, having banter with the rival fans and shutting them down. Says Mike Hill. Well, fair play to you, Mike Hill, lad. You never know, lad. You never know. But, I don't know about that one, Mike Hill. Thank you very much for getting in here raw with your super chat, though. Let's get some love in there for Mike Hill. St. Game says 85 million. Wow. Absolutely, that is an obscene amount, no doubt. It's a heck of a lot of cash, as we've said. So if we actually look into it, though, there's different outlets reporting different prices. So if you're just getting in the stream, I'll break it down for you very, very quickly. So initially, as you can see here, Fabrizio Romano said 70 million. He said 70 million euros. With add-ons is the amount of money that we were paying for him. A huge amount of cash, no doubt. But then other outlets are saying different things. So David Ornstein, he came out earlier on and said that it was 85 million euros. So essentially 75 million euros up front. And then a further 10 million euros in add-ons, taking it to a total of 85 million euros, which is an obscene amount of cash. Sharmesh Chef from Sky Sports reporting slightly different information. He says that the deal to take Hojlund to Manchester United is worth £72 million, breaks down as £64 million, initial payment plus £8 million in add-ons. Atalanta wanted 77 guaranteed, but we met them a little bit lower than that. And then also Gianluca Di Marzio reporting that it was, a similar sort of figure. They're all similar sort of figures, but there is a slight discrepancy with the amount of money involved. He said £65 million plus a further 8.5 million in add-ons. So that's the difference here. Some people are saying, but either way, we're paying between, I'd say, 80 and 85 million euros all told for this guy, which is a heck of a lot of cash. So we have been bent over there. Make no mistake, we're bent right over, guys. We have been tucked up. But let's just ask the chat, guys. Smash a 1 in the chat if you feel like this is worth it. Let me know if you think it's worth it to get our guy. And let me move that so we can see the chat a little bit, see what people are saying. Smash a 1 in the chat if you do think it's worth it. Smash a 2 or a different number if you think it is not worth it. It's a lot of money, but we've got our guy. We've got Ten Hag, the player that he wants. Lots of ones coming in the live chat, to be fair. Sometimes you've got to pay to get who you want, don't you? That's the key. Thank you very much, by the way, for the super chat here. We've got another super chat. The super chat is from, bear with me, una momento, por favor. Bran Muffin getting in here. Bran Muffin says, Hojlund is just a younger Weghorst. I can see why you're called Bran Muffin now, my friend. I really can. Because you're a crumble merchant, lad. Do you know what I'm saying? It's the Muffin Man, everyone. The Muffin Man who lives on Shithouse Lane. Yeah, that very same one. What you talking about, Mr. Muffin, mate? Talking rubbish. Weghorst is a big, slow Frankenstein's monster of a player. Weghorst was no good for Manchester United, clearly by his performances. And obviously, Rasmus Hojlund is 20. Rasmus Hojlund. This is a facepalm comment. I know you're just bantering. You don't really mean it, but there you go. I mean, Rasmus Hojlund's fast as fuck. Rasmus Hojlund's lightning in a bottle. Weghorst is kind of like got the pace of concrete rolling down a hill. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not even talking about a wet concrete. I'm talking about pretty dry concrete. Let's be honest. He's very slow. You can't compare the two. You cannot compare the two at all. Exactly. 793 says, dude, he is fast and can finish. He'll do you good. Precisely. He's fast as fuck, this guy. So he's not just a big lummox. Just because he's 6'3", people will say, oh, he's just a big lummox. No, he's not. He's quick, and he can get involved in the link-up play, and he can also, score your goals. He's early in his progression as a footballer in general. 20, super young, isn't it? Like, crikey, there's still a heck of a lot more to come from this man. Exactly, Lewis Eraser. What a great point. So, by all accounts, Rasmus Hojlund was desperate to join Manchester United. He wanted to be a Man United player. So did his dad. His dad wanted him to be a United player. He's quoted as saying previously that he supports Manchester United and he loves Manchester United. He'd like to play for Manchester United. So what more do you want than a player like that? That's exactly what we need at this football club, is players who want to be here. Not players who are just coming from the money. There's other accounts that maybe PSG would have offered him more money in terms of wages. I know they weren't prepared to meet Atalanta's valuation of him like we were, but they were potentially prepared to pay more money to the player on a weekly contract basis to convince Hojlund to go, and he still didn't want to go. He still wanted Manchester United. So that's the sort of player that I want, is a player that wants to be at United, and a player that Ten Hag wants to be at United. Really looking forward to seeing him play for us. Rushy says, hang on, some people complaining we have signed a striker, then we get one and then complains about that. It's pretty outrageous, I know. No more mercenaries. Exactly, AR Dan. Spot on, lad. Spot on. We need to get more, more of these guff bag hangers on out of the football club. There's still a few more hanging around. We need to replace them with people who want to be here and people who really, really want to play for us, like AMRABAT as well. Chris Koo says, get Kane and AMRABAT. We might have a chance at a title challenge. Yes, I think you're right, Chris Koo. I know. Look, let's just talk about that for a second, just seeing as you mentioned it. But it's very unlikely, obviously, that we go in and sign another striker. Probably the most likely thing is, which is against my will, by the way, but Greenwood is brought back into the side because the Glazer shithouses have no morals. And also, he's the cheap option to get a good player, isn't he? Greenwood is a good player. He might be introduced back into the squad. And then all of a sudden we do have some quality depth at the top of the pitch there. Kane, though, is about the best striker in the league, along with, obviously, Haaland. But as I've said many times, if Kane was at City, he'd have probably outscored Haaland last season. I don't think that's a ridiculous claim. He was playing for Spurs, and he still managed to get 30. So I think Kane's right up there in terms of best strikers in the league. His finishing movement, all of it's there. That would be a tremendous acquisition for Manchester United. And there is still a tiny outside possibility that we would go in for him based on, you know, the fact we've now got our striker here. But if we can sell other players like Harry Maguire and Tony Martial and Scott McTominay and Donny van der Beek and Fred and Henderson, if you could get rid of all of those over the next few weeks, there's a tiny, small, slim possibility that we would at least try to go and sign somebody like Harry Kane. It's very unlikely, very, very unlikely, but it's still not completely out of the question. So I'm still holding out hope that we could do that, Chris Koo, because then I feel like we would have two quality strikers, which is what we need, but they're different types of strikers as well. They're very different types of strikers, which is what you need. You need people who are, you know, who are different, and you also need depth and quality and depth, and those two would absolutely provide you that. And AMRABAT is just an absolute pass master in the midfield that we could be definitely doing with. So yes, I'm with you there, Chris Koo. If you got Kane and AMRABAT, I could see a title challenge coming as well, but we'd have to have serious ambition to do that. To get both of those guys, it's going to take our spending up to close to £300 million, which I just don't see anybody doing, even if we got, say, Sheikh Jassim in tomorrow. Very unlikely. But then again, like I say, generate a lot of cash. You could generate £100 million from selling all of the shite at the football club, so you never know. But it's ridiculously unlikely. Gregory says Greenwood will be staying at United. I mean, I don't know. Nobody knows at this moment in time. It's an internal thing that the club are going to have to decide. It might not be worth it from a sponsorship, commercial point of view, PR nightmare, squad harmony point of view, or they may decide to keep him. But in my opinion, the Glazers probably will sign off on him staying because they don't want to lose out on an asset and they're just shithouses. So they might just ride the shitstorm that will ensue. But I'm not going to get into that again. We talked about that today. It's an annoying topic. Jody Philander, thanks for being a member 31 months and having your say. Let's get a 31 in the chat. Thank you, Jody. He says, "G'day, Bacon Brigade. We're going big. Positive vibes." Thank you so much, Jody Philander. Yes, indeed, sir. We are going big. Just like this subscriber count right here, guys. We're only 30 subscribers away from 72.6k subscribers. So once again, if it's your first time in this stream, if you just stumbled across this channel for the first time, get yourself involved in the chat and subscribe to the channel. It's free to subscribe. We've got you covered with all the latest Manchester United goings on throughout this window, and we're back on for the Dortmund watch along in the early wee hours of Monday morning as well, so come and join us for that if you're around. Smash the subscribe, click the bell icon, and smash that like on the video. Oh yes, Mark says Kane is now unnecessary, young, fast, and no fear. I wouldn't go that far, Mark. I mean, he's not necessarily 100% needed, I suppose, because we've just gone and signed a striker. But Kane is absolutely necessary, if you ask me. I mean, maybe he's not necessary, but he would be an ambitious acquisition. Come on. He would be, I mean, if we got Kane and Hojlund, wow, we really are cooking with gas. Because Martial is still going to be playing backup striker at this moment in time, and he's a known melter. He's not consistent or good enough to do the job for us, really, where we can rely on him to bag in, say, 20 Premier League goals for us. If we had Kane, well, Kane could get you 20-odd Premier League goals, and Rasmus Hojlund could chip in with 15, and then you've got the Champions League, the FA Cup, the League Cup, and all these other competitions to play in. And we need two top strikers. I believe we need two top strikers. So let's ask the live chat, guys. Do you think we should have two top strikers? And if we don't sign Kane, we should sign somebody else, in my opinion. Smash a 1 if you think we should have two top strikers. You know, let us know. Hey, we got 222 likes. That's excellent. Thank you, every single one of you guys, for hitting that subscribe and the like button. We're on our way to 300 likes. Let's see if we can get 300 likes on the stream tonight. Cheers, everyone. Oh, Styan United, dude, how have you been, mate? I haven't seen you in time. Styan United, mate, Norwegian hero. What's going on? I haven't seen you for a while, mate. How are you doing? He says Hojlund wants to be here, and his attributes is good. A 6'3" and strong, smart, direct, and brilliant timing. Reading the game very well. Can be in the build-up as well. Give assists. Spoken like a true legend there, Styan. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more with you, bud. That's exactly what I'm talking about. He is multi-dimensional, this guy. So he's not just like a Haaland one-dimensional Ghostbusters 2 melter. He is actually, like you say, he's strong and smart and good in movement in terms of, you know, playing on the last man, and his pace gets him there with his long stride length, his pace gets him in behind defences. But also, like you say, he can get you assists. He's got that intelligence in the build-up of the game as well. So he can help with the build-up play, he can help with the creation of chances, just as well as creating and scoring the chances as well. So I'm completely with you, Stian. Get in there, you legend. It's great to see you, by the way. I haven't seen you for a while. Hope everything's going all right with you, lad. Thank you very much for getting in here from Norway, you Don. Oh, yes. Good evening there. What's going on, Alfie Maturi? He says, good evening. Hope you're doing okay. I really don't get people in this country. If the players are not English, they're not good enough or overpaid. Come and let the lads settle. So true. I think a lot of these guys in the live chat who are criticising this transfer are probably Liverpool, Man City scummers. You know, let's be honest. I think most United players, we don't necessarily... Okay, we paid a lot for the guy, but I think we know what we're getting here. We're getting a player that Ten Hag wants and will probably be a great player. He is a sharp player, isn't he? There's in games. Absolutely, we need to get him in as well. Player with brains, spot on, player with brains. Absolutely. Listen to this twat, case in point. Exhibit A, and the A stands for arsehole. Exhibit A, I'm just kidding. Exhibit A, he says, Haaland is terrible, pig. Only 8 goals a season. Dreadful transfer winner for Man United. Shocking, right? Okay, for a start, he got 9 goals last season. For a start, he's 20. He also got a bunch of assists as well. And to be perfectly honest with you, you're talking absolute guff. What's the point? He's 20. Do you gauge all of the players in the world on how good they are at 20? Goodness me, some of the best, most prolific strikers in the world are nowhere when they're 20. We're buying this guy largely based on potential. Okay, he needs to do the job now as well for us as well, but we're basing it on potential. Crikey, I mean, think about, goodness me, I don't know, Ian Wright, one of Arsenal's best ever strikers. Great goal scorer Ian Wright was. Nobody would deny that. Great goal scorer, great striker. Guess what? He didn't even start playing professional football, I don't think, until he was 23. You know what I mean? He was playing like non-league guff before that, hanging out with his mates, smoking weed and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't even... I'm pretty sure he didn't start until he was like 22, 23, playing for like Crystal Palace. Listen, 20 years old is so young. It means that he's got so much to develop still. He can go on and do great stuff with his future. Obviously, 20 is so young. So you can't even judge a player when he's 20 years old. Judge him when he's 25. That's the reality. People develop at different ages as well. The reason why this guy is worth this amount of money at his age is because he's got insane, tremendous physical attributes, which sets him apart from other 20-year-olds. But also, he's got bags of potential and he's got intelligence about his play. He can score and create. So I think you're just being silly and writing him off there, obviously. I think you're just joking anyway with that comment. Obviously, you're just trying to be a wind-up. Rush Mano, thank you for your highlighted member comment. Let's get a hashtag 43 in there for Rushy. Thank you for being a Bacon and Egg Brigade member, lad, for 43 months. That is super legit. Getting on for 4 years. What a handsome bastard. He says, Hojlund did everything to make this happen. Turned PSG down and the Premier League club. And let's support him. Yes, precisely. So I'm supporting him big time. I can't wait to see him play, actually. I'm really excited about him. I haven't been as excited as a signing of a player since, last season, maybe when we signed, say, Casemiro or, certainly from a young player point of view. Players like Martinez coming in last year was very exciting as well. But actually, this guy's more exciting because he's a forward striker that we've needed more. Obviously, Martinez proved to be an amazing player for us. And, but in terms of just like hype, this guy's got a heck of a lot of hype around him, but he's only 20. So I'm with you there. He turned down PSG. He had the possibility of going elsewhere, could have stayed at Atalanta, but no, he's decided that he wants to play for Manchester United, and that's the sort of players that we need. Players that want to be here, and players that Ten Hag wants to be here, more importantly. Like I said earlier at the start of the video, this is a Ten Hag signing, and so far, this season, Ten Hag has signed all the players that he wants and that are good for Ten Hag's system. You can't put a price on that, really. So Onana is a totally different keeper to David De Gea, and he's somebody that's going to come in and be able to play out from the back and have that ball retention ability and also the ability to get us going. So he's signed a goalkeeper for his specific style of football that he wants to play. And Rasmus Hojlund is no different to that. He's a signing for Ten Hag's system. Fox Mulder says, you needed a good striker since Tevez and Rooney left, says Fox Mulder. Well, I think you're going a little bit too far back there, lad. I mean, obviously we had Robin van Persie and stuff. But, no, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic was excellent for us for that one season as well. But yeah, okay, fair enough. We have needed a good young striker. I think that's the point you're trying to make there, is it? Because obviously Rooney we got when he was a young lad. We needed a good young striker who's got the potential to grow at United and turn into one of the world's best. And I guess if you're talking about, like, players we've bought, obviously we've had a couple of great youngsters like Rashford and Greenwood and these guys who had that potential and they come through our system. But if you're talking about young strikers or young forward players that we have signed with that same level of potential, it has been a while, hasn't it? It has been a while. I guess Tony Martial was the last sort of signing there, but he was a winger when we signed him, obviously. In terms of strikers, I'm just trying to think, who's the last young player that we brought in that we've put our faith in such a way, like Wayne Rooney, like Rasmus Hojlund here? Who is the last young player that we signed where we put all of our faith and money and hopes in to be a number 9 for us that's young? You know, there's not that many, is there? You have to go back quite far, I suppose. That's a fair point, you know, to find another youngster that we've put all our eggs in the basket of to try and turn into one of the world's best. Chicharito doesn't count fire up because he cost like, I don't know, 9 million or 6 million or whatever he was, cheap from Guadalajara. And he was just coming in to be a backup, really. What a player he turned out to be for us. One of the greatest super subs ever, him and Ollie. But, yeah, no, not the same, really, because obviously I'm talking about like a Rooney-type player. Somebody who's young and has massive potential. And we're, you know, I guess we didn't take a chance on Rooney because he was clearly going to be insane. But, you know, the same can sort of be said for this guy. He's another youngster that we're putting a lot of faith in the future for. Purpose says Bebe. Martial, I think, yeah, Martial, but he was obviously playing on the wide positions, especially when we first got him in. 0793, he says, how old were Michael Owen and Wayne Rooney? Well, when we signed him, I mean, Wayne Rooney was, I think, 19. He was very young. Scored a hat-trick on his debut in the Champions League against Fenerbahce. Awesome career he had, all-time United goal scorer. Obviously, Michael Owen came through the Liverpool ranks, so different scenario. We signed Michael Owen when he was like 30 or something, or, you know, around about that when we signed him. But what you mean is, how old was Michael Owen when he was in the Premier League, bagging in loads of goals? He was 17, mate. Michael Owen, when he was 17, was class. 17, 18, 19, 20, those were the bloody best years for Michael Owen, to be fair. So I see the point you're making, you know, it's not, all players do develop at different ages. Michael Owen's best years of his career were when he was a teenager, early 20s. Those were the best years of his career. He was blighted by injuries, obviously, that didn't help him. But some players develop when they're, you know, some players develop when they're younger and some players take a little bit more time to develop. All I know is we've got to give a lot of faith in this guy to develop and give him time to adapt to the Premier League and obviously hopefully be the guy for us. Kay Slater says Martial and he failed. Yeah, it's probably Rooney though for an actual striker. You've probably got to go back to Wayne Rooney for the sort of similar sort of signing as to Rasmus Hojlund, where it's a young player who is you know, got this hype around him and who we've paid a heck of a lot of money for and is going to be playing that sort of a role for us. So I agree. I think you probably have to go all the way back to Rooney. Chris Barker says Rooney. Yeah, I think you got to go back to Rooney to find, you know, Martial was a wide player though. I don't really think it's exactly the same, but you know, yeah, okay. Martial also is a contender for that role as well. He turned out to be a flop. So you're not always going to hit the home run with these players when you come in. Mike Hill says Defo Rooney. Yeah, Michael Owen was one of the best goal scorers of his generation. Absolutely, no doubt. He was insanely good. But anyway, okay, so I'm just gonna get into the updates here, see what's come out during the show here. Thank you, Matty Rushmano, for letting us know about this stuff. So yes, 0 minutes for Rasmus Hojlund today in Atalanta's game against Bournemouth. That obviously is as expected. Man United and Atalanta are getting the deal done. Obviously, they've got it done now, so he didn't play today, which is great news. Also, you know, some information's coming out this evening. Let me just check out the latest updates in regards to this deal. So give me un momento, por favor, and I will give you the latest information that's come out. So Fabrizio Romano has said that we are not done in the transfer market, which is excellent. We are still looking now to turn our attentions to AMRABAT, guys. AMRABAT would be an excellent signing. So also another report here that says that Erik ten Hag had wanted to sign Harry Kane. This is from Paul Hurst from The Times. He said that Erik ten Hag had wanted to sign Harry Kane, but Man United were put off by his £575,000 a week wage demands and the £100 million fee that Tottenham Hotspur are asking for the striker. I'm pretty sure that's absolutely poppycock of a story. I've got to be honest. That's my humble opinion on that one. Poppycock of a story. No way Kane's wanting 575k to join Man United. That's rubbish. I mean, he's going to end up being lucky to get 300,000 or 350,000 from Bayern Munich at this stage. So I'm pretty sure that's poppycock of a story anyway. But yeah, I mean, you've got to factor that in. He's obviously a depreciating asset once you've signed him for 100 mil. I think he is going to be going for about 100 million pounds. Certainly to Manchester United he would, maybe a little bit less to Bayern, but to United, Tottenham would want that amount of money. So yes, that price is about right. It's a heck of a lot of cash there to sign him, and then you probably have to pay him close to £400,000 a week to be our main striker. But when you consider that Tony Martial and Harry Maguire collectively combined are on £400,000 a week, it doesn't seem like a bad piece of business to put him on the books at all, especially if you can sell Maguire, especially if you can sell Tony Martial and all these other players we've mentioned. So I honestly do think that story is just pure BS there, to be fair. No way he would even demand 575k. That's a kind of a rubbish story there from the Times. But hey, look, maybe he would want 400k a week. And it still has to be factored in. Like Rasmus is going to be paid nowhere near that. So we're still waiting for final confirmation on that. But lots of different reports I saw several days ago when it was announced that Man United had agreed personal terms with Rasmus Hojlund to say that it was starting on £4.5 million a year, which is really little amount of money. But he is only 20, remember? And he's coming from Atalanta where he was receiving, I think I've heard reports that he was on like 30k a week there, or even less. So, it's a big step up in terms of the amount of money that he was receiving to play for Manchester United. But also he wants to play for United and he loves Manchester United. So, excellent news there. We're not paying Rasmus Hojlund too much. And compared to Harry Kane, yes, it is cheaper in terms of the wages and stuff. But for a little bit more money, listen, if Ten Hag really wanted Kane, I want Kane, but if Ten Hag really wanted Kane, we would have tried to get Kane, I think, before trying to get Hojlund. It's not like we still are likely to go in for Kane now. We've used all of our budget, surely more or less now. We need to sell in order to buy. So we've used most of our budget. If Ten Hag really wanted Kane, if he really had highlighted him for somebody who can come in and play his system perfectly, and obviously he scores a lot of goals, but it's not just about that, then he would have tried to get Harry Kane ahead of Hojlund, wouldn't he? So I don't even think, my personal opinion on the whole Kane situation is we haven't even tried. We haven't even tried to get him at all yet. And maybe we won't for the entirety of the window because, well, it's just not that much good value in the deal, I suppose. Because of the amount of money you have to pay Spurs, because of the fact that in 3 or 4 years' time, he'll probably leave United for nothing. Whereas Rasmus Hojlund, over the next 5 year plus 1 year added on contract length, will grow in value. Here's an asset that will be growing and getting better and being more of an experienced, valuable player. So if anything, his value will go up over the next few years. Whereas Harry Kane's will completely drop off. That's the reality of his age and everything. And the length of the contract would probably be 4 years that you would want. And so you're committing to 4 years for a player who has had an injury-prone record in the past, not the last season. So I can understand maybe the reluctance from United to really deal with Spurs. Plus, they're just greedy, aren't they? But we'll see. There's still a tiny chance that Man United go in for Kane before the end of the window. Probably when it's announced that Bayern have reached an agreement with Spurs. If we've sold players, and if we do have ambition, then maybe we'll try and sign Harry Kane. I mean, let's ask the chat for a bit of fun. Yes or no? Yes or no? Will we try for Harry Kane before the end of the summer transfer window? Will we even try? Yes or no? What do you think? Based on the fact we just spent 85 million euros on Hojlund, I'm going to go ahead and say a big fat no. But you never know. It depends on what sort of outgoings we have. Let's see what people are saying here. Yes, says Gregory. No, says Joe Two-Tone. Fire Up says doubt it. Orlando says no. Dead Rebel says no. Gattuso says yes. Berber feeling optimistic. Getting there, my son. I mean, that's the thing we should do. What a bit of firepower we could have if we had both Hojlund and Kane. No, says Robin Hood. No, says Larry Hassan. No, says Duncan Belifo. No chance, says Leanne. No, says Sonic Asylum. Yes, says Compost Murph. No, says Lewis Areza. Alex Walker saying no. 100% yes, says Rocky. Doubt it, says Dad. No. Okay, so most people are saying no here. It is doubtful, Chris. I think we have to be honest and say that now that we spent that money, it's very much a case of he probably is going to Bayern Munich, which is a shame because I genuinely feel like the Premier League will be a worse off place without Harry Kane in the league. Kane is a great player, and he's obviously English and homegrown. He's a Spurs scummer. I don't really care if we don't get Harry Kane. But I personally think we should have at least tried. He is a class player. And it does look like Kay Slater says here, that he's going to Bayern. And Spurs would rather he went to Bayern so he does not stay in the Premier League and he goes to a foreign league where he doesn't affect Spurs. So it makes sense from their point of view. But like I say, if you were prepared to actually sweeten the deal to the point where it makes Spurs change their mind about that, you could. Let's say, hypothetically, Bayern Munich agree a deal with Spurs for £90 million. Well, if United were prepared to go to 105 or 110 million pounds to get them, then surely they would be quite happy to sell him to a rival in the league if they actually stand to make a good bit more extra cash. That's just economics. It's got to be worth Spurs' while to sell him to United as opposed to Bayern, but you could make it happen. But actually, from Kane's point of view, he's going to a great club where he will win lots of trophies, and that's what he needs in his career. But it's not Premier League trophies. Pig, can you see Kane speaking German? Yeah, I can, Dan, actually, mate. I can, but he'll probably speak it just as badly as he can speak his English, won't he, Could you imagine Harry Kane doing an interview in German over there, mate? He's very nasal. And he struggles to speak English, the lad, to be perfectly fair. So, yeah, I could imagine him speaking German in a hilarious fashion. This is Harry Kane speaking German, right?
Guten Tag, mein Freund. My name's Harry Kane, and I just want to spiel some football, yeah? Spurs will come over here because I really want to play some football and win some trophies, and I'm just still working on my Deutsch. So, forgive me, but meine Name ist Harry. Mein Name ist Harry und eine score 15 Goals this season und ich habe 102 Katze. Das Wetter is prima.
It's going to be horrible, isn't it? Oh my goodness me, I feel sorry for those German fans. Goodness me. I feel sorry for those German fans, honestly. Goodness me, guys. But there you go. Who knows? He'll probably struggle with German just like he struggles with English. Who's better at English, Kane or Rooney? Well, obviously it's Kane. Obviously Kane. No, I don't know. Actually, that's a very good. I mean, Rooney's got better with his English over the years. He used to be so socially awkward, didn't he, Wayne Rooney? Goodness me, I remember. Bless him, Wayne Rooney, the bollocks of a stallion on the pitch, and then you get him with a microphone pushed in his face after a game, and he'd go bright red. He'd be going and he'd be so socially awkward, wouldn't he? Bless him. As a young lad, anyway. But he's got a lot better. He's got a heck of a lot better in that sense. Oh, goodness me. Make the most of it, says I'm making a brew. I nearly dropped the kettle full of boiling water over me. Oh, no. He's wasted in that dead league. I'm with you. I think, we should absolutely try and get Harry Kane at United. It'd be better, wouldn't it? But there you go. Why does Wayne Rooney look about 50 these days? Jesus Christ. I don't know, Kate Connect, people age at different, not everybody can look like me at 35, mate. You know what I'm saying? How old is Rooney now? He's about my age, isn't he? Is he about 36? 37 now? 36? How old is he? He's not that. He's 35, 36, is he? A couple of years younger than Ronaldo, right? Gotta somewhere around about that. Not everyone can look like me, mate. Look like a pure, fresh-faced 24-year-old. You know what I'm saying? I'm just joking, obviously. I'm just joking. But you're right. I'm 35. And I am actually confident to say that I do look younger than Wayne Rooney. You know what I mean? I would say that. I think I probably look my age. But, I still look younger than Rooney because Rooney, like you say, looks like he's approaching 50, mate. He does. He looks like he's about ready to try out to replace Steve McFadden as Phil Mitchell in the latest bloody edition of EastEnders, mate. He does. He's getting on, isn't he, the guy? So bless him. Bless him, man, he's not everyone ages at the same rate. I don't know, maybe he's enjoying his retirement, or maybe he's just got the DNA of somebody who ages more. People do age at different, look at that actor, Paul Rudd. He doesn't seem to age. Some people just don't seem to age, do they? There's lots of people who look really old when they're young, and others that don't. So it's bizarre in that sense. But Wayne Rooney, yes, he's aged like a Ribena, not a fine wine, unfortunately. Rooney looks like he loves outdoors, says Berber. Chris Barker says, I'm 49 and look younger. I think I look younger than you and I'm older than you. Well, there you go, exactly, Mark N. Some people just look younger and some people look older. So if you look at, say, Cristiano Ronaldo, for instance, Cristiano Ronaldo is older than Wayne Rooney by a couple of years now, a few years. And he does look a lot younger. He just does look young. Some people just have that sort of young look about them, whereas others look a bit older. Kai Rooney, yeah, so he's obviously a hot prospect for the future, isn't he? Give him a couple of years' time and he'll be hopefully banging the goals in for United's first team. Rooney loves eating. Well, maybe the lifestyle is what's responsible for it as well. Perhaps he doesn't take as good a care of himself as people like Cristiano Ronaldo. He's retired now, let's face it. You do often see, like a lot of players, when they stop playing, they just let it all go, don't they? Some players stay super fit and continue to, keep it up. But a lot of players just absolutely go to the dogs after their playing days are finished and they just hang up their boots. Or not just footballers, athletes in general. I think they're used to doing so much exercise and burning off so many calories. They just get used to eating what they want and fueling their body. And then as soon as the game stops and they don't play anymore or their sport ends, they just continue eating and then stop doing the workouts. I mean, there's a lot of like boxers that it happens to. People like, Ricky Hatton. Remember Ricky Hatton or Prince Nazim Ahmed? These guys in their day were the definition of fit as a fiddle. And then post-boxing days, they turn into absolute messes. You can't get away from that because they just stop moving. They stop moving and they still eat and they drink and stuff like that as well. Mike Tyson, well, actually, Mike Tyson looks great, doesn't he, Mark N, to be fair? He actually does look pretty boss. Real Killer says, how do you look so young? I don't look that young, mate. I actually do look my age. I'm 35. I mean, I think I look younger now than I did a year ago because I've lost a bit of weight and just and stopped smoking. I don't smoke anymore. I used to smoke. I haven't smoked for nearly 6 months now. So I think that's probably made me look a little bit younger. But who knows? I mean, I don't know. I definitely look about my age. I mean, look at my hairline. My hairline is receding, mate. Look at that. There's definite resedation taking place there, guys. You can't get away from it. Have a shave, says Fire Up. Well, yeah, that too. Anyway, listen, we're not slagging off Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney's an absolute legend. Hey, thank you very much, Andrew Goncalves there, for subscribing to the channel, mate. Get in there, you Don. Thank you so much. Guys, we're only 25 subscribers away from 72.6k. Make sure you hit the old subscribe button if you haven't done so. Drop a little like on this video as well. Help us get to 300 likes, guys. We've got 335 watching, so no reason why we can't. Your eyes look a lot different now to when you smoked. Well, I'm not surprised about that because I was always absolutely stoned out of my box, lad. You know what I mean? Doing these streams back in the day. So I'm not surprised. Rushmano says, smash a like for the pig. It helps the channel. Thank you very much, Rushmano. Yes, please. Smash that like button. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new and get yourself involved with this chat. We're going to get into a Q&A in a minute. Before I do, very quick rundown of what we've discussed in this video. And I will let you know what's going on. So if you're just joining us, look at this report there from Fabrizio. It says that Rasmus Hojlund to Manchester United, here we go, confirmed. Reached now with Atalanta. Package will be around 70 million euros with add-ons. Club's preparing documents the next 24 hours. Hojlund agreed a 5-year deal 10 days ago. And he's wanted by Manchester United. So that's done, guys. Get it there, my son. The other outlets reporting the amounts of money. Let's just go through it very quickly. So obviously Fab says 70 million plus add-ons. We have other outlets saying different things, which I will just say one more time to let everybody know who's just joining the stream about the sort of figures that are being bandied around here. So David Ornstein reported earlier on, another tier 1 journalist. He said that the deal was actually more money than that, really, that it was for 75 million euros and that an agreement had been reached between United and Atalanta for a fixed fee of 75 million euros plus 10 million euros in add-ons for Rasmus Hojlund. And that it's obviously agreed a 5-year contract with an extra option for an extra year. Still needs to be finalised, obviously, but around about an 85 million euro package is what David Ornstein has said. Sharma Chef gives us a slightly different amount here. They're all approximately the same sort of cash, but slightly different amount. Sharma Chef says, deal to take Hojlund to Manchester United is worth £72 million. Breaks down as £64 million initial payment plus £8 million in add-ons. Atalanta went into talks wanting £77 million guaranteed. The bulk of the income and business is done, but further arrivals depend on departures and interest remains in Sofia and Amrabat. So interesting there. And also, as I say, the agreement between the two clubs reported also by another good source, Gianluca Di Marzio, and then he gave us a money breakdown as well, and he says that the breakdown of the fee will be 65 million euros £65 million plus another £8.5 million in add-ons for Rasmus Hojlund. That's from Gianluca Di Marzio. So a few different varying reports there. Can't get away from it. Obviously, more will come out on the precise fee that we are going to pay for him soon. And we'll have more confirmations, I'm sure, very, very soon. And, Fabrizio has hinted at a medical very soon. So here's a recent tweet from Fabrizio Romano that says that Manchester United are prepared to book the medical for Rasmus Hojlund after the agreement sealed with Atalanta. Hojlund will sign a contract valid until June 2028 with the option for a further year. Clubs will exchange documents in the next 24 to 48 hours. Here we go. So just to give you an idea of the time frame, he will hopefully be flying in for a medical over the next couple of days. And then obviously finalizations of the contract, exchanging of the contract, payments and everything, and then he will be a United player. So let's hope that he can be playing for that Lens game. Smash a 1 in the chat if you think he will be playing in at least one of the pre-season games before we start the actual Premier League campaign. Smash a 1 if you think we'll have it wrapped up before then. I definitely hope so. Okay, so let's talk about AMRABAT for a second as well. That's one of the other sort of stories of the day. Dharmesh Chef there alluding to the fact, but Fabrizio also gave us a firm, strong update on the whole situation, which was this. Manchester United's plan always has been a clear priority to get Rasmus Hojlund, and then negotiations to start for AMRABAT. And obviously we reported a few days ago that Sofyan AMRABAT had agreed to join Manchester United, like he would like to join Manchester United. And there were some reports that maybe we'd already had negotiations for a fee, but nothing in terms of a verbal offer or certainly not a written offer to Fiorentina at this stage. Their manager, though, Vincenzo Italiano, has alluded to the fact that he's lost his focus at the club, and that they would probably rather get him gone sooner rather than later because of that fact. So, if United can sell one or two players, maybe we could see Sofyan Amrabat coming in very soon also. But as Fab says here, there's no negotiations, at this moment in time, no official or verbal bid yet to Fiorentina. But always had to happen after Hojlund, and AMRABAT is keen on the move and well informed on United's plans. So I think that, AMRABAT's looking seriously likely that we can get him done within hopefully a week or so himself, which would also be another great addition to our football club. So get in there, my son. Things are happening. We're making strides in this transfer window. Just got to hope that the biggest transfer of the summer happens at some point this summer or this year, which is the Glazer shithouses out of this club. Hashtag Glazers out. We've had enough of those toads. This changes nothing. This is always what they do, isn't it? Wait until the heat gets turned up on the backlash from the fan base for their awful running of this club. And then they spend. They're scumbags. They're scumbags. Get rid. This changes nothing. Okay then, so that is the latest updates there, guys. And also, just wanted to mention this as well for anybody that missed it. Great tweet here I saw earlier on, which says that Rasmus Hojlund has equalled 100 million Mudrik's goal tally in the Premier League. He joined at 7:15 p.m. today. So it could be worse, folks. It could be worse, eh? Could be worse. Right, there you go. There's the latest updates. Let me just have a look at what Rushmano sent me here. One or two final updates. So here's another good update. Thank you, Rushy, for keeping us up to date with what's happening here. This has come out this evening as well, that Rasmus Hojlund hired agency SEG, which is the same group as Erik ten Hag, for a 3-month trial period with a message like, take me to Man United or I may get other agents for the future. He absolutely wanted to join Man United. So I think he did the right thing there, getting the same agency as Erik ten Hag to oversee his, his move here, essentially. Great stuff. Right, guys, we're going to get into the live chat for a Q&A. Before I do, I'm going to pop over to the Twitter. The link is at the top of the live chat. Make sure you go over and give us a retweet if you haven't done so. That'll help this stream out and help us get the word out. Also, of course, hit the subscribe if you're new. Smash that like button if you're new to the stream. And get ready to get your thoughts and opinions in there raw. But before I do, I'm just going to pop over to Twitter. Let's have a look. Also, we're nearly at 300 likes, so we might hit it tonight, guys. Let's have a like spike. Okay, so we've had 16 retweets over on Twitter. Thank you, everyone, for retweeting the show. It does help us out. Jaden, ADV, Anthony Ong, Boomy, John Boy Cat, Kane, Transfers_UTD, Sin Games, United Mark, Jamza Highlights, J United in Gaming, Aaron Homeyard, CZ Bam, Andy Davidge, Richard Westerbeck, Kieran, and Cal L. Thank you, every single one of you legends there. It really does help us out. You retweeting the show. Thanks for sharing it around, guys, and helping us spread the word, you absolute dons and donesses. Get in there. Nice one. Okay, time for the Q&A then, folks. Let's see what you legends are saying about this whole situation. I'll try and make that a bit smaller so we can see the chat a little bit more here as well. Just make that a little bit smaller there. All right, guys, and I'll get your comments up on screen. Now's the time to have your say. Well, I saw that, Real Killers, but that story was, I believe, from the Daily Star, wasn't it, the other day? So I never really have drunk, really, Paul. So no, I haven't drunk since December, actually, any alcohol. Pretty crazy, eh? But I wasn't a big drinker anyway. Yeah, even Beckham said that they need to go. Absolutely, he did. Yeah, he said that it's clear that the fan base wants them out. And so they should probably go, basically, is what he said, yeah. There was a band called the Rasmus, mate. Yeah, there was. What songs did they do? But there was a band called the Rasmus. Berber says the Glazers, not the Babers, the Glazers aren't funding the transfers. The club is. How much we spend means nothing in relation to the Glazers staying. Well, I mean, I must admit, I do disagree with that because obviously they fundamentally want to make profit so they can siphon money out of the club in the form of dividends and sucking money outright. And so the less they spend, the more profit the club makes, ergo the more money that they are able to suck out of us at some point. So the fact we're spending the money, I mean, it is weird because you wouldn't think they would want to do that while they're still here. So I do disagree with that because I think obviously they are cutting into their own profits here and they are pure scum. And you would expect them to want to increase the amount of money that they can possibly siphon out of the football club. How long is Mainu out for, says the K Cadet? Right, okay, so the K Cadet, he's out for an estimated period of 2 months. Very disappointing, yeah. So it was reported earlier on today and confirmed that he does have a 2-month layoff, essentially, and that he's got a serious ankle injury. Really, really bad news, isn't it? So sad about that. All the more reason for us to go and sign Sofian Amrabat immediately. Hopefully, it does not mean that somebody like Fred or McTominay stays any longer than we want them to, though. But maybe in terms of depth, perhaps Ten Hag would actually like to keep one of those guys around just in case. But hopefully that's not the case. If we get Amrabat, what do you rate this transfer window out of 10? Red Devils Gaming, I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. Let's answer his question there, live chat. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. If we sign Johnny Evans on a short-term free, if we sign, of course, Onana, Mount, Amrabat and Hojlund, I give it an 8 out of 10. And that's very good. Can't really argue with that. It's a very good transfer window. The only way it could be much better is if we did do something very ambitious, like, say, add Harry Kane to that list as well. And maybe we don't even have to add anybody else to this. Maybe it will go up if we can sell all the gash players at the club, like people like Harry Maguire. You know, so perhaps that could be even further increased just from selling players, in all fairness. But at the moment, it's a very good, solid-looking window, particularly if we do sign Amrabat, like you say. Exactly, Mike Hill. He's a legit Man United fan. He won't leave even if Real Madrid come. Well, hopefully not. And as we said, he's desperate to join us and he's finally got his move. And what we want is players at United who want to be here. Yep, Kane's birthday, absolutely, lad. If only we could get Caicedo. What a great player, yeah, but they want 100 million. In fact, they turned down an 80 million offer from Chelsea, didn't they? So don't think that's going to happen. Oh, nice one, Rushy. Only 5 likes away. Get in there. Dead Revel says 8. Nick says 8. Chris is going 7. Mike says 8. Robin says 10. Big respect. 3 out of 10 says Arsenal Manic. 8 out of 10 says Duke Rodtown. Gattuso's going 7. Wrestle Kurt's going 8. Oh, nothing to complain about with Fred's mentality. Absolutely berserker. Completely agree with you. That would be amazing, wouldn't it, Must Play? Yeah, that would really give us the challenge. Hey, Lynette Giggs, how have you been? Get in there, you legendaires. 7.5, she thinks it would be a good window. Yeah, I mean, it's a solid window, isn't it, at the moment? How many players do you think we will sell at the end of this window? I'm going for 5. Surely we've still got a good few more players to get out. Danny says 6.5. Leon says 7. Drunk Vigo says 9 out of 10. 7.57. Yeah, we do need outs, Burb. You're absolutely spot on there. We still need to get rid of Fred, McTominay, Martial, Donny van der Beek, Henderson, and even more players. Bailly, you know, still a lot of players still we need to get out, so we definitely do need some outs, don't we? Rushy says, yeah, pretty solid 8 out of 10 this window. Absolutely agreed. Fair point. You know, nothing wrong with this transfer window so far. Hang on, my mouse battery's died. Hang on a sec. Let's plug this bad boy in. Okay, good. Great stuff. Right then. So yeah, you know, pretty solid transfer window so far, guys. We can't get away from that. Man United have actually spent money and it has been a solid old time this window. We got 301 likes. Get in there, everyone. Thanks for hitting that like button. I appreciate you. Yeah, outs AMRABAT and Kudu push it from a 6.5 to an 8. Absolutely. Definitely, absolutely. Outside sneaky chance of hijacking Kane from Bayern. Well, very optimistic. Yeah, very optimistic stance. But you are right. There is an outside chance. I give it like a 5% chance that we might go in and try and get Kane now, considering we spent so much money on Rasmus Hojlund. But I agree with you, Red Devils game, and it's about getting Ten Hag who he wants, and obviously he wanted Rasmus Hojlund. Rushmonitor says could be a 10 if we get a top centre back and sell McAvish and Slabby. Yeah, that's absolutely true as well. Yep, we want more players. 7 says Sing Games. No, I'm not Bell 691, my lad. Gash must go, says Duncan Believo. Kane could play until 34, 35. Why do people say he's only got 2 years? I don't get that either. I completely agree. His game's not even about physicality, really. His game's not about pace. His game is literally about cunning and movement and finishing ability and reading the game. That's what Kane's game is all about. So I agree with you. He could go on and play top tier seasons until he's at least 34. So I think you're spot on. I think we should absolutely be going to get Kane. 100%. I mean, there is a possibility we would rather wait to see if we can get him in a year's time for free. But then if he's joining Bayern, we'll miss out on a really great player. Robin Hood says Kane would have been 12 out of 10. Well, one thing I will say, and I'll say it again, is that if he's going to go to a Premier League side, then Man United's the only one. You know, that's the only one. Of course, we'd actually have to go in for him, but he's more than likely to join Bayern. But because of the fact we've got Champions League and he's not going to go to City because of Haaland and he's not going to join a rival London club to Spurs, you know, Man United's realistically the only club that could actually have a chance of getting him, I think. Jonathan says no more excuses left for Ten Hag. He's been backed. What do you mean no more excuses left, Jonathan Gallagher? You're saying that like Ten Hag's done a bad job. Ten Hag's done a fucking great job so far as United manager. 3rd place finish in his first year, securing Champions League football and a League Cup trophy and an FA Cup final, and whilst doing it, you know, without full backing from the Glazers. I mean, what does that even mean? No more excuses left. That's kind of like saying that, you know, he's close to getting sacked. He's not at all. He's having a great time of it. I mean, I guess I sort of understand what you're saying here, that, you know, what you're saying is he has been backed and so there's a certain level of expectation that needs to take place. But to say no more excuses, as in, you know, it's just a bit strange. It's a bit strange, Jonathan. Style of play still has to improve. Well, it will do now he's got a pig in striker and now he's got players in that he wants. You know, he will be changing the style of play. We've got Onana, who's going to transform the style of play quite considerably, I think, from a goalkeeper perspective, certainly. And Ten Hag wants us to get to be an attacking football team. He's only been here a year, Jonathan. It's not going to happen overnight. He could have never transferred us from that Ragnick mess / Ole Gunnar mess that was here at the football club before he came in a space of 1 year. It won't even probably be where he wants it to be at the end of the season. It's going to take time. He needs time to build his squad and get all of the gash players out of the squad. And it takes time to get a well-oiled fundamental system in. Look how long it's taken Pep Guardiola to win the Champions League with City. You know, it's like, yeah, now they're a well-oiled machine, and obviously they were very, very good before that, but it's taken time for it to reach its pinnacle, really, hasn't it? Aaron, thank you for putting the link to the watch-along in there, my friend. I will pin that to the top of the live chat. So we've got the watch-along set up for the Dortmund game at the end of this stream. I'd love it if you legends could go over there and smash a like on the Dortmund watch-along. So that's on in just a little over 24 hours. It's actually on at like 2 a.m. on the Monday, which is obviously just after midnight tomorrow. So just over 24 hours away, we'll be back on with the Dortmund pre-season game. Casemiro getting fit will help, but need a form return from Mount fast. Yeah, there you go, yeah. Obviously, Mount's just settling in. Again, Mount's no different. I've got my reservations about Mount, but Mount's no different to any of these players like Hojlund or Onana. He needs time as well. He needs time to settle in, time to develop, time to adapt to Ten Hag's new system and his teammates. So I'm also not expecting too much too soon from Mason Mount. But eventually, yes, he's going to have to come good, isn't he? Give Erik Ten Hag time. There aren't many good managers left. Spot on. Madhouse says Piggy second, 15 points behind City, or fourth, 6 points from top. You what? What would I rather, you mean? I mean, second place. But then again, it just doesn't really matter, does it, if you get top 4? But no, second place is better than fourth place. It's not really about the points. Unfortunately, we probably will finish behind City this season. They're just too far ahead, but let's hope that they still get penalised for their cheating at some point. Our only weakness is we don't have good ball carriers in midfield. Thoughts? But yeah, spot on. But things could change there. Things could change. I mean, Bruno's a great ball carrier. But the thing is, obviously, you know, we'll and Mason Mount hopefully will bring something different to the table for us there. And obviously, we're signing Sofian Amrabat by all accounts, by what it seems like. So that should be someone that can help us play the ball around. And what about Kobbie Mainoo? Yeah, the next gig says Kobbie Mainoo. He's going to come back into things. Wowcore01, thank you for your comment. He says, after that terrible start, I thought Ten Hag was going to face the chop before December, but they finally got their act together. Yeah, no, Ten Hag, I forgot about that. He had a bad start at United and was still able to turn it around really well. I mean, who knows? If they'd have actually given what we wanted in January to Ten Hag, i.e. a world-class striker, who knows what he could have gone on and achieved last season. At one point, we were talking about perhaps being in a title race. It was always too much to ask in his first year, but we ended up getting Wout Weghorst, who provided us 1 or 2 goals for the rest of the campaign. So we were up against it. He also lost Ronaldo at the start of the season, a player that scored 18 league goals for us last season, and he had to sack him off for nothing because he was a prima donna egotistical meltbag, which basically means that Ten Hag didn't have the smoothest of seasons, yet he was still able to get a lot out of that squad. So I think he is very much a good manager, and we should put a lot of faith in him. AMRABAT being bought for that, says Danny B, sorry. Yeah, exactly. AMRABAT's going to be bought in to help that midfield. Smart buy, says Dabo. Fans acting illogical. Sing Game says, if Chelsea and Liverpool did not flop last season, we would have finished 5th. I'm with Jonathan Gallagher. I was not happy with the 3rd season. We played awful at times, average at others. Interesting take there, Sing Games. Fair enough. I'm guessing your cup of tea, mate, is half empty there as well, like Jonathan Gallagher's. Jonathan Gallagher's is not just half empty. He's got, when he makes a cup of tea, he's got about half a centimetre in it. He needs a bloody abseiling equipment to get down to his cuppa. You know what I'm saying? But Sing Games, listen to me. Chelsea and Liverpool did flop, and we did finish 3rd, and we did finish with a trophy, and we did get to an FA Cup final. So he's trying to balance all of those different tournaments, and did a really good job doing that. How's about when we've got a bigger, better squad? What is he capable of doing? So I don't think it's fair to say that we weren't perfect last season. It's his first season. People were asking way too much too soon from Erik Ten Hag at United last season. He was never going to get us a well-oiled machine overnight. We were still playing with mugs like Harry Maguire. He still had to assess him. We still had to call upon McTominay and Fred and people like this. These guys are not technically good enough for United. We didn't even have a striker. We had Weghorst in January. Goodness me. Once he's got what he needs, I think you'll be surprised with how consistent he gets us. But hey, look, maybe I'm wrong. Only time will tell. Ten Hag's got a bit of pressure on him now because he has got who he wants. And Newcastle had a freak season. Yeah, you can't look at it like that. You can't look at it like, oh, this team did bad and that team did good. They didn't do good. So, we did do good. That's the difference. All teams flop at different stages of the season. Look at Arsenal. Yeah, that's right. When we were up with a chance, the board failed with him and Ronaldo and Weghorst as Bell 6-9-1. Yeah, exactly. Completely agree. A great season as Arsenal had. We finished 3 games behind them in Ten Hag's first season. Exactly. Who says Chelsea and Liverpool would be better this season? Exactly. I don't think they would either. Thank you, Rushmano. Yes, indeed, everyone. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Savage Official says, yo, what's going on? Last season, my minimum was 5th, but better football. I thought we were going to finish 5th last year, and we ended up getting Champions League, so I was pretty buzzing about it. His first season, only had 3 or 4 players that are his players. He did well, absolutely. Played more games than everyone else in Europe, that too. Rasmus Hojlund stats last season for Atalanta, 20 games, 9 goals, 11 assists. Pretty excellent. Pretty excellent, man. Forget about Chelsea. They're all unexperienced in the Premier League. Respect the GOAT, says Batman. We signed 3 players in 25 days. Yeah, we're actually doing pretty well here. Arsenal. People talking a lot. Piggy, would you swap Sancho for Dembele? No. Ousmane Dembele, I'm guessing you're talking about. No, not really. Dembele's a better player, but he's kind of injury prone. Sancho still deserves a chance, I think. Give him a chance this season. And, give him a chance this season. If he doesn't do it, we should look to move him on. But he's still got potential, Jaden. Still only 23, 24. Give him a Ten Hag kick up the jacksie, and he might turn into the next Rashford like last season that Rashford had. It's possible. Rashford was terrible the season before last, but look at him last year. Rooney scored 9 goals the season before we signed him. Well, there you go, Berber. What a great stat you've just come in with. So for Everton, right, he scored 9 goals. Mate, what a fantastic stat you just come in there raw with, lad. We can only look after ourselves. But how many games did he play? Stay gold. Get in there, my son. How come when we win, it's on Ten Hag? If we lose, it's on the players. Because the players are shite. Is that a good enough reason for you? Ten Hag's a good coach, and the players he has at his disposal last season, a lot of them were shite. Slapping Maguire scoring OGs, David De Gea making individual mistakes in big games, etc. You know what I'm saying? So maybe because the players are shite, Jonathan. Sancho is crap. Garnacho or Pellistri over him. Well, at this moment in time, yes, but Sancho could still come good. Dembele's injured more than Marcel. Has his own ambulance on the touchline. Casemiro's suspensions, Varane, Martinez injuries crippled us as well. Good point. Yeah, exactly. We had all that to contend with. Ronaldo leaving, injury issues, not getting the striker we needed in January, etc. So, all things considered, Ten Hag had a blinder of a season. Oh, absolute bargain. Oh, today he'd be 100 million, wouldn't he? At least probably 124 million these days. I mean, if Declan Rice is going for 105 million, Rooney would be, God knows how much, 130 million. Obscene amounts. What a signing that was, by the way. Unbelievable. 26 starts. So there you go. Ryan's got a stat in there. Rooney, the season before he joined United, scored 9 goals in 26 starts for Everton. Great stats there from the statman Don Berber there. Goes to show you what a potential signing Rasmus Hojlund could be. Don't judge him on the last season in Serie A. Judge him for this season and next season and the season after. Rooney was fully grown at 9 years old. Well, Rasmus Hojlund is certainly a physical beast at 20. 9 years old. He was super physical, wasn't he? I remember when he was 16, when he first started playing for Everton, and he was bossing grown men off the ball. He just had this bulldog style of play, didn't he? He was so strong. You need to work out a system where Sancho can get back to Dortmund. He's too good to write off. Fair enough. Yeah, he needs to get back to those days. I mean, statistically there, he was amazing. Rooney would be 350 or 250 now. Yeah, maybe so. Aaron getting in there raw. Had his own ambulance on the touchline. These guys on the chat expecting big things. McTominay, Maguire, Alex Tellers. Yeah, exactly. Get those guys gone. Get new, better players. And Ten Hag's got a better team to do better things with. Definitely, Mr. U. Get rid of the crap bench players. Rooney was 18 and playing in the Prem, to be fair. Yeah, unbelievable. Rooney 4 assists, Hojlund 11. So there you go. Hojlund 9 goals and 11 assists last season. Goes to show you the type of player he is. Big potential he has. That's why we spent 85 million euros as big potential. Rooney the volley king. Oh, his volleys were insane, weren't they? That one against Arsenal back in the day for Everton. And also that one against Newcastle for United after he's had that argument with the ref and then he just goes bang and pings it top bins. Rooney was the volley king, wasn't he? What a beast. Completely agree. Yep, Rooney did get a hat-trick on his United debut in the Champions League as well, no less. I think it was 2 free kicks. Was it 2 free kicks? Certainly a free kick. Rooney absolutely smashed that debut. What a player. And we knew we had a special player there. Champions League debut. That's the one Eamon Barrett. I think it was against Fenerbahce, the Turkish team, if I remember correctly. It was either Fenerbahce or Galatasaray. It was one of the Turkish teams. Oh, yeah, the overhead kick against City. Oh, now we're just absolutely mangasming over the reminiscence of that, aren't we? Di Canio's volley was excellent. Yeah, Kung Fu style. Overhead against City. Rooney, my favourite footballer of all time. Oh, fair play to you, Stoic Savage. Yeah, it's a great shout. What an absolute beast. Yeah, the volley against Newcastle was your favourite. Monster debut, a volley, a free kick, and a tap in. There you go then. There you go then. Maguire is good at scoring against us. Maguire volley, your favourite. Scholesy, better volleyer. Scholesy was an epic volleyer as well. I mean, who could forget that corner routine? It's pinged straight to the edge of the box from the corner. He volleys it in. I mean, you don't see goals like that. He was a beast volleyer, no doubt. But Rooney was exceptional. You just wish Rooney left before he did. He did milk it a bit. Yeah, I guess so. Mark Hughes volleys. Oh, that's a great shout as well. He was a volley king, lad. Well, yeah, absolutely. Cantona's volley in the cup final, mate. Yeah, definitely. Jamie Robinson. That's a banger, lad. Oh, what a goal. Thank you very much there, King Stash, for getting in here raw, lad. He says, imagine we sign Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz? Florian Wirtz? Fair play to you, my son. Who the fuck's Florian Wirtz, mate? This is a hole in my knowledge, mate. Florian Wirtz. Who the fuck's that guy? No, fair play, though. I think I know who you mean, yeah. Henderson isn't happy. Good, he shouldn't be. He's not going to play at United. Onana's come in and we move him on. You know what I'm saying? You Wirtz. No, fair play. Thank you for your super chat there, bud. I don't know too much about him, but Rushmano does, and he says he's a top talent. So fair play then. Yeah, great stuff. Well, we could add as many top talents to the ranks as we want. That's awesome. Great stuff. Okay then. Well, yeah, that's what we want, is as many good players as possible. Right. Oh, he's from Bayern Leverkusen. He's sort of like Foden. Okay, then, Boomy. Right. Have a look at the picture pig I sent you. Okay, let's have a look at this. Rushmano sent us a picture. Let's have a look at this one. Look at Henderson's face. Oh, right. Okay. This is fucking quality, mate. This is fucking quality. I've got to put this up on the screen. Great picture there that Rushmano's just sent me. Let me put this up on the screen. So this is all the United players hanging out. They're hanging out, guys. And you can see Dean Henderson's face. Look, I'm going to have to put this over me so you can see him. He's on the right there, guys. Everyone's like beaming, smiling, yeah. Look at Henderson. He's like, what the fuck am I doing here? Everyone's buzzing. And Dean Henderson's like, just like, oh, you know. To be fair, he's looking at Harry Maguire, wondering why the fuck has he got the audacity to wear a hat that says Icon on it? Do you know what I mean? Look at that shot behind Harry Maguire. It's called the melt. It's called the melt. Harry Maguire sat in front of a shop called the melt. I don't believe it. With a hat on that says Icon. You can't write this shit, can you? Oh my god. Literally, there's a shop called the Melt in the background, guys. Bob Harry Maguire, mate. Oh my god. No fucking way. Oh man, that is absolutely brilliant. How has that happened? The Melt. The fucking Melt. Oh. Iconic Melt. I know, he's wearing a hat that says Icon, and behind him there's a big sign that says the Melt. God almighty. That is class. That is absolute class. That's made me tickle, that has. That's tickled me, that has. How's he wearing a hat that says Icon on his head? I've got two questions there. How's he got the audacity to sit there in front of a shop that's called the Melt with a hat on that says Icon? And secondly, how has he managed to get a hat produced that fits his cranium? Do you know what I mean? Like, has he bought that one off the shelf? I think that must have been, personally, specially made. I think he got Andre the Giant's hat maker to make that one. Personally, Harry Maguire, how has he managed to get a hat that fits? That's what I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness me, that is genius. You just can't write that stuff. Thank you, Rushmano, for sharing that with us. That is absolutely brilliant. Oh man, this is great. These epic pictures, Larry. So that is epic, isn't it? Oh my god. Got to clip that, says Jonathan. Oh man, maybe so. Yeah. Oh, Chris Koo, thank you so much for the £2 super chat. He says that's made my Saturday night. Maguire sat in front of the Melt. It's too perfect. That picture is too perfect. Gregory Berg says, I'm in tears laughing so loud. Thank you, Chris Koo, for the super chat there. And he's just sat there smiling like a big gormless melter that he is. Bruno Fernandes is cracking on with this bird, by the way, look. What's his wife think about that, eh? Or is that his wife? I don't actually know. I don't know. But either way, you know, I'm joking. Right, anyway. Okay, guys, listen, we're going to have to basically wrap this stream up now, but there you go. We've got Rasmus Hojlund, it's fucking awesome. Get in there, my son. Rasmus is here. Guys, keep hitting the subscribe button. We're slowly approaching 72.6k subs. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Get yourself involved. I can't get over that. The Melt. Oh, you can't make this stuff up, can you, Lewis Arader? I know. Bruno scoring everywhere he goes. Bruno scoring on and off the pitch. Oh, that's the MUTV presenter. What, the one with the big tatties? Are you sure? Oh, it's not the one I think of. But anyway. Right, guys, anyway. Okay, guys. I'm going to wrap this video up, but Rasmus Hojlund is a red. Done deal. Done and dusted, baby. Let's go. Come on. Right, peeps. We're going to wrap this up there now. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. He's an icon of a Melt, he is indeed. Come back after this video's finished, though, and get in the not live comment section and comment about your thoughts and opinions on anything we've discussed. Half of those should be gone. Absolutely madhouse. Yes, sir. Thank you, Freedom Journey. Thank you, Mark N. Thank you, everybody who's got in the live chat tonight and chatted with me. Happy Saturday night, guys. Rasmus Hojlund is a red. It's done and dusted, folks. Oh, yes, there is no gaming stream tonight. Sing Games. Apologies, lad. I'll be getting back into that at some point soon, mate. You know, I'll be getting back into that at some point soon. But there is no gaming stream tonight, mate. No, I'm just going to take it easy, mate. And, yeah, get an early night if I can and get ready for that late night Dortmund game tomorrow night. It's on at 2 a.m. There will be FIFA soon. I am bringing it back very soon. Just can't get myself up for it at the moment, you know, just to be honest. So Jimmy Kenton there, Rushmano, come on. Simon, Nick Stevenson, the game's dead. But we will be getting back into it very soon, obviously, we will. Thank you, OP Dragon. Thank you, everybody. Cheers, Rushmano. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the updates throughout. And thank you all the mods and all the members in the chat. People like Chris Cooin Green for supporting the channel. And thank you to all the moderators like Vutinator, Berber, Rushmano, Johnny Gallagher, Kate Cadet, and everyone getting in here supporting us and moderating the chat. Thank you to all the legends. Hoopman, have a great night, you Don. Thank you everyone who's commented and got involved with the live chat tonight and interacted. Funny chat tonight, great guys. And just buzzing to see, might as well leave it until the new FIFA. Well, we'll probably start reasonably soon in build up for the new FIFA. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's not going to get very interesting until that one comes out. Good point. Thank you, guys. 331 likes. That's excellent, everyone. Can we smash 350? Smash a like before you go. And also drop a thumbs up on this video before you go if you haven't. I just said that, didn't I? And also hit the subscribe button if you're new before you go. You can follow us on Instagram. Thank you, Lewis. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick. All at Flying Pig United. All the links in the description. The gaming channel is called Flying Pig Gaming, Mike Hill. Flying Pig Gaming. You got high standards, says Jonathan Gallagher. Oh, really? Mate, are you sure about that, Jonathan? I've seen a picture of your missus, lad. You know what I'm saying? I'm just joking. I'm just joking. You don't have a girlfriend? I'm just joking, mate. It's a joke. Sing Games, get in there, my son. Chris Parker, get in there. Red Devils Gaming says, cheers, Pig. Good stream. Thank you, Chris, and Gaming Simp and Simon, and Sing Games and everyone. That's it from me. You're a bunch of legends. Stay classy. Rasmus Hojlund is a red. He's done and dusted. Let's go. Come on. Come back after. Get your thoughts and opinions in, and let's be having you. Rasmus Hojlund is a red, baby. Time to celebrate because we finally got a striker. Oh, yes. Ten Hag's got his man. That's it from me. Have a great night, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow with the latest transfer news in the early afternoon, plus the evening transfer news show tomorrow, and then of course we've got the watch along at 2 a.m. That's what I would ask you to do, actually, peeps, if you could do us a big favor before you go. So at the top of the chat, Aaron is kind enough to put the link to the watch along in there. We've got 34 likes on it already. Let's see if we can get 50 likes on it. Smash a like here on the watch along. Sorry, I'm shaking because I'm typing there. Smash a like on the watch along there, folks. And that'll be much appreciated. There it is right there in the live chat. Go and smash a like on the watch along, peeps, at the end of this vid. Honestly, that'd be awesome if you could do that. Thank you, each and every one of you, for being here. That's it from me. Have a good night, guys. Rasmus Hojlund is a red. Welcome, Hojlund. Come on, United. Slowly doing bits this summer. Get rid of the shit. Get rid of Harry Maguire. Get rid of some guff bags. Maybe one or two surprises coming. Get AMRABAT. Maybe one other Don coming in as well. And this will be a really nice transfer window. Come on. See you on the next one, guys. Have a great night. See you tomorrow. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.